is a yin yoga class, so we will be moving slowly with longer posture holds. So you're going to need a couple props for this class. If you have a yoga bolster like I have over here, that works great. If you don't, just grab a couple cushions from your couch. Those will work just fine. Make sure you have some yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, hardcover books or soup cans work as a good replacement. If you're going to do that though, I would go with hardcover books for today's class, as well as have a blanket nearby, and make sure you have some water. Otherwise, let's meet in a seated position on the mat together. Now I'm sitting on my meditation cushion, so my hips are a little bit raised. If you want to do this, it just helps you ease into deeper relaxation. Then go ahead and grab one of your couch cushions or just a pillow and sit on your pillow. We're going to begin class today doing Nadi Shavasana. And Nadi Shavasana is also known as alternate nostril breathing. And we really want to focus on calming our central nervous systems. That's why we're practicing bedtime yoga, so we can have a restful sleep and our whole body feels safe to go to sleep. So your mind isn't racing, thinking about your to-do list, what's going on the next day, or even sometimes, before bed, the weirdest things pop into our heads from years ago, and we're like, oh my gosh, why am I thinking about this? So this class is designed to help you calm your central nervous system, so calming your mind, your body, and your spirit. So with alternate nostril breathing, we're going to be using our dominant hand. Mine is my right hand, so that means that we are working with our ring finger and our thumb. And because I'm right-handed, my ring finger will cover my left nostril, and my thumb will cover my right nostril. It will be the opposite if you're working with your left hand, if you're left-handed. So all that is happening here is our fingers are assisting in closing our nostrils. So we're breathing in one nostril and then the other, in and out, one at a time. So this actually helps to tone our vagus nerve, and our vagus nerve is so imperative when it comes to calming our central nervous system. And so the vagus nerve, if you're unfamiliar, is a nerve that runs from the back of your head all the way down to your pelvis. So it runs through all of your vital organs and really helps to bring you into a relaxed state. So let's begin. Close your eyes, and if you've never done this before, you can keep them open if that feels more comfortable. But just take a regular breath in and out through the nose. And then inhale through the nose. Close the left nostril, exhale out the right. Inhale through the right. Close, exhale out the left. Inhale through the left. Close, exhale out the right. Inhale through the right. Close, exhale out the left. Keep going on your own. You'll find the rhythm. Doing your best not to force your inhales or exhales. Just allowing them to be thread-like, leading into one another. If you can, try to make your exhales longer than your inhales. 2 more on each side. And then let that go. Take a couple breaths normally in through the nose, out through the nose. And then bringing your hands over your heart, left hand and right. And start to bring your attention to your heart space. Breathing into the center of your chest. Imagine a beautiful light in the center of your chest, Anahata, your heart chakra. And we'll take 3 deep breaths into this heart space of ours, inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Last one. Beautiful. You can release your hands from your heart. And then if you have your eyes closed, gently flicker them open. Remove whatever you're sitting on, pillow, meditation cushion, whatever you have. And let's get into it. Starting with a side head to knee pose, or side Shavasana. So our right leg will be long, and our left foot is resting on the inside of the right thigh. And this is where some props are going to come in handy, because we're going to bring that right hand in front of the right leg. And so we're going to sink deep into this. So maybe this is where you use a block or your book, or maybe you grab a pillow. But begin to inhale and reach your left arm up and over. Let your head and neck hang heavy. They don't have to do any work right now. And close down your eyes. Do your best to close down your eyes in each of our postures so you can tune deeper into your body. If your head feels heavy, you can always bend your right arm at the elbow and then cradle your head here. And then staying exactly as you are, but reaching your left arm away from the body now. Fingers are pointing to the sky. Begin to feel this stretch down the left side of your neck and into your shoulder, as well as in the left side of your rib cage, your intercostal muscles, your hip. And then keeping your arm like this, or maybe going for a bind, reaching that left hand for your right hip crease, or holding onto your clothes. On your next inhale, release that bind if you have it, and then use your right hand to cradle your head and bring it back up. Now move your prop out of the way if you had it, and turn to face your right leg. Sole of the left foot is on the mat. Bring the left arm behind you, and using the right arm to hug your left leg, twisting towards the left. I like to give my head and neck a break during these yin classes, so instead of cranking my neck and looking over my left shoulder, I'm just looking down, right underneath the left armpit, or in between the hands and the hip. On your next exhale, let that go, Counter twist a little bit if you need to. And then facing your right leg, we're going to fold forward into a head to knee pose or Savasana. You do not have to get your head to your knee. But this is where props might come in handy. Having your books alongside or your pillows. So that way you can rest your forearms maybe on your props. And remember, if you're up here and you feel a stretch, just stay here. There's no need to push your body. We really like to allow our exhales to help us sink deeper, meaning you don't have to go to the full expression of the posture right away. Wherever you are, let your head and neck hang heavy. They don't have to do any work. On your next inhale, slowly walk yourself back up. Remove the props if you need to. And we're just going to switch sides. So, left leg or the other leg comes out in front of you. Again, grab your prop if you need. Place it in front of your left calf. And then inhaling, right arm comes up and over. Remember, each side is different, so maybe this side feels a bit tighter or maybe it's a bit looser. Just noticing. Maybe you want to cradle your head, so bend at your left elbow, left hand holds the head. And staying exactly as you are, but now reaching that right arm away. Fingers pointing towards the sky. Start to feel that stretch down the right side neck and into the shoulder, as well as the right side body, the right hip. And if you went for the bind on the other side, bind on this side, bending the right elbow, reaching the right hand for the left hip crease or holding onto your clothes. And on your next inhale, let that go. Use your left hand to bring your head back up to center, just making sure we don't get a head rush. Moving your props a bit out of the way. Turning to face your left leg, sole of the right foot is on the mat. Right arm comes behind, hugging that right leg with your left arm. And begin to twist towards the right. Looking down, giving your head and neck a break. And then on your next exhale, let that go, counter twist a little bit. And then facing that left leg, bringing your props alongside you if you need, alongside the leg. Otherwise, beginning to walk yourself forward. And again, take your time to settle into this posture. There's no need to rush. But wherever you are, begin to relax the head and the neck. And don't forget to breathe. If at any point it feels hard to breathe, that's just your body signaling to you that you've gone too far, and just to ease up a little bit. So let your breath and your body be your guide. And then on your next inhale, slowly come up and come to face the center. Grab a sip of water if you need. We're not moving a ton in this class, but I still think it's a good idea to have some water. So I'm going to do this one actually to the side. So you're going to need a couple props here. If you're working with books or blocks, put them on the very bottom, stacking one in front of the other on the lowest height, also known as baby bear height. So if you're working with a block, one of my yoga teachers taught me this is baby bear, this is mama bear, this is papa bear. So we have them on baby bear height. And then stack your pillows, or if you're working with a bolster, have it there, but you could stack your pillows and your blanket as well. Your feet are coming into a coming together, legs are in a diamond shape, we're in butterfly pose. We're coming into a reclined, supported butterfly. So the back of your hips will be as close to the props as possible again, whether you're working with blocks and a bolster or books, blankets and pillows. Either or is great. Allow yourself to sink down. And if this is a lot for your hips, because it can be, just make your diamond a little bit wider. You don't have to have your heels close to your butt. Arms are beside you, resting on the mat or on the ground. Palms facing up. Or you can bring one hand over your heart and one hand over your belly. And just really reconnect to your breath and your body as we stay here for about 10 breaths. And coming out of this by using your hands to bring your knees back together, and then using the strength of your arms to bring yourself up. Careful, you might get a head rush, so move slow. Now we're keeping our legs in a butterfly position, but now we're going to fold forward. So, you're going to want to put your blocks or your books in between your legs. And you can have a bigger diamond for this. And then stack your blanket or pillows on top. And just fold forward Resting your head on your hands. And you can always remove one of your props if you feel like you have too many, you don't need this many, whatever suits you best. Don't worry about having a flat back here, you can round your spine. And if it's not comfortable to have your forehead on your prop, you can always just look to one side. And I'll tell you when to switch your neck, or switch your gaze, so you get an even stretch in your neck. If you are looking in one direction, switch and look the other direction. And then slowly coming up and out, remove your prop. Keep them close by, of course, we're still going to use them. Take a sip of water if you need. Now we're going to come into a wide leg forward fold. So with our wide leg forward fold, you don't want to be so wide that you're hunching back, okay? If you're really wide, you want to have your legs really wide. Make sure that you can sit up on your hips and almost kind of being able to hinge forward at your hips, okay? If you're back here and you're trying to reach forward from back here, you're not going to be in proper alignment and you're going to risk hurting yourself. So you don't need to have your legs as wide as your mat, whatever feels comfortable. Of course, we're going to be here for a little bit, so I want you to be comfortable. So stack your props in front of you. However is going to be best, fold forward and rest, okay? So if you just have pillows, blankets, books, stack them on top of one another. You don't have to be working with yoga props, right, to make this work. So inhale and exhale, slowly fold forward, and again, if bringing your forehead to your prop feels uncomfortable, then look one direction first. Have your left ear resting on your prop. And again, begin to tune into your body. Notice anything that's coming up, any emotions, any thoughts. And just breathe into them. Don't need to be consumed by anything right now. Let your breath be your anchor and let it guide you back to this present moment of nourishment, of love, of showing your body appreciation. If you were looking to the right with your left ear on your prop, switch and now bring your right ear to your prop, look to your left. And then slowly walking yourself up on your next inhale. Bring your props off to the side, not too far. We'll still be using them, of course. But bring your hands behind you now and bring in your feet. Just having them about the same width as your mat, or just wider than your hips. We're just going to windshield wiper our knees from side to side, moving slowly. Just releasing any tension in the hips. That was a lot of hip opening between butterfly and wide leg forward fold. And then next time you're over to your right, come up over onto your right side a little bit more. Have your right foot resting on top of or in front of your left thigh. We're facing the right. You're going to bring your prop to meet the side of your hip. So that could be your bolster, your blankets, your pillows. You might want to work with both your blankets and pillows here so you have a little bit more height. Because we're going to be folding forward onto our prop, coming into deer pose on the right side. And you can either have your right ear resting on your prop, or if you want to take this further into a twist, have your left ear resting on your prop. On your next inhale, slowly walk yourself back up. Bring your arms behind you. Switch to the other side. Legs now fall towards the left. You're going to want to bring your prop on over. Same thing on the other side, but now your left foot is resting on your top or in front of your right thigh, and the props are close to your left side hip. And we're going to twist and then come forward onto the prop, and you decide whether you want your left ear resting on your prop or the right ear to bring this into an even deeper stretch. inhale, slowly walk yourself back up. Move that prop out of the way, close by. You'll still need it. And then come into a tabletop position. Hands and knees pose. Wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips, and we're just going to do some cat-cows. Inhaling, belly will drop, gaze lifts to the gaze is in front of you. We're not going to crank our neck and look up, just gaze in front of you. Exhale to cat, spine will round, chin to chest. Moving at the pace of your breath. So exhaling, we're in our cat, rounded spine. Inhale, we're in our cow, belly drops. And do this 7 more times, following your own breath. Beautiful. Coming back to a neutral spine, and we're going to come into a child's pose now. So if you want to stretch your low back, keep your knees closer together. If you want to stretch your hips, have your knees as wide as your mat. Begin to sink your butt towards your heels. If your butt feels far away, place a pillow in between your heels and your butt, or a blanket. And then begin to walk yourself forward. Now if your forehead feels far away from the mat, stack your fists and rest your forehead on your fists. You can also put a pillow here to support your head. Wherever you are, make sure you're breathing into this. And notice your jaw. See if you are clenching your jaw or holding any tightness here. Our jaws are a reflection of our hips and our pelvic area. So when we relax our jaw, we begin to relax our pelvis. So let's try to do that so we can get even more benefits from this child's pose. Slowly on your next inhale, begin to walk yourself up. Now come over onto your butt once again. Have your legs long in front of you. Remove the flesh from your butt so you're sitting right on your sits bones. And we're just going to do a gentle fold forward. So this is where if, folding forward, hinging at the hips feels difficult, just not in your practice yet. Sit on a blanket or sit on a pillow or have a pillow underneath your knees, okay? Either way though, have a little micro bend to your knees, inhale, and exhale, walk yourself forward Again, you don't have to come to your edge right away. Begin to let your head and neck hang heavy. If you can reach for your feet, reach for your feet. And we're just going to stay here for about 10 breaths. Inhale, slowly coming up. Make sure you have your props within reach. We're going to be coming down to the back, so maybe you want to move your props a little bit so they're easier to grab. I always like to make sure that they're super accessible. So coming down onto the back, taking a sip of water if you need to before we meet down here. And bring your heels close to your butt. Soles of the feet are on the mat. You can check in with the alignment. Arms are alongside. Your fingertips should be able to tickle the backs of your heels. We're going to come into a supported bridge pose. So this is why it's good to have your props nearby, whether you're working with blocks, books, pillows, blankets, whatever. So we're going to inhale and lift our hips high to the sky. And then take that prop and place it underneath, having it rest on the, in between the hips and the tailbone, so in the sacrum area. And of course, you can do this on a pillow. It's going to be a lot softer, I should say. But we're going to stay here for a little bit. So you decide. You can stay exactly as we are. Or maybe you lift one foot off the mat and then lift the other foot off the mat. Just pause here. See how that feels. If you notice any pinching or anything feels funny, then just come out of it and reset. So you might need to move the block a little bit up or a little bit down. But you shouldn't feel any pain or pinching when you're in this posture. If your feet are lifted, maybe you extend the legs high to the sky. If your legs were straight, you can bend them. Take a pause here. And then bringing one foot back down to the mat and the other. Taking a breath here. And then lifting your hips up a little bit so you can remove that prop, place it off to the side. And again, make sure you have your pillows and your blanket nearby now. We won't need the blocks or books anymore. Where you're going to bring your arms shoulder height to a T, or you can cactus your arms, so bending at the elbow, hands are face like pointing towards your face almost, right? And then inhale, bring your knees up and in, so feet are off the mat. And then exhale, begin to drop those knees towards the right side, not coming all the way down, coming to a hover. Inhale, back up. Now exhale, dropping those knees over to the left, not going all the way down, coming into a hover. Inhale, back up. Exhale to a hover on the right side. Inhale, back up. Exhale to a hover on the left side. Inhale, back up. And now all the way down to the right. And if both of your knees being bent is too much, you can always straighten your bottom leg. So you can straighten your right leg. Or you can have your legs resting on the pillow or the blanket. Or no props at all. But look over your left shoulder, so your left ear is coming towards the mat. Close down the eyes and bring the right hand to the belly. And begin to connect back with your breath. Release your right hand from your belly. Inhale, head comes back to center. Bring your legs back up. Take a breath here. And then exhale over to the other side, to your left. Again, doing the same you did on the right side. So if you need to extend that bottom leg or bring a blanket or pillow underneath your legs, do whatever you did on the other side. And then looking over the right shoulder now, closing down the eyes. And bringing the left hand to the low belly. Inhale to release the hand. Head comes back up. Legs come back up. Take a big hug. Give yourself a big hug. And then exhale, coming down into your final Shavasana. You might need to lift yourself up to grab your blanket if it was a little far away like mine was. So grab your blanket. Make your way back down. And coming into a Shavasana with support if you need. You can always bring your pillows under your knees to help you help your hips relax. You can bring a pillow under your head. But just settling into your Shavasana, your corpse pose, and allowing yourself to soak in all of the nourishment, the benefits of our bedtime yin yoga tonight. As you lie here in Shavasana, keep your attention on your breath. If your mind begins to wander, just come back to the breath, focusing on your inhales and your exhales, and how they ripple through your body like waves of an ocean. Notice your heels making contact with the earth, the backs of your legs, your buttocks, the backs of your hands, your arms, your lower back, your mid back, your upper back, your shoulders, the back of your head. And with each exhale, allow yourself to sink deeper into relaxation. Staying in your Shavasana as long as you need. There is no rush to come out. But when you are ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Maybe rolling out the wrists and rolling out the ankles. Then bringing your legs together and your arms together overhead. Take a stretch. Exhale out the mouth to release. Rolling over onto one side, so bending your knees, soles of the feet come to the mat. Using your bottom arm as a pillow. And taking a breath here in your fetal position before coming up. And then doing your best to come up with your eyes closed. Coming to a comfortable seat. Bringing your hands to prayer in front of your heart center. Bowing your head. The divine light in me honors the divine light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining this bedtime yin yoga class. Know you can return to this whenever you need some assistance of relaxation and to really just help with a good night's sleep.